Hello my friends, and welcome back to my channel. Yes, this is Kate in the Nest, and this is a continuation of something that I actually started yesterday, and then my silly phone started doing the storage problem, so I don't think I came on and managed to say goodbye. But if you've seen that part, or if you didn't see part one, this is about me making the babiest size nest that I ever have made. Now, you know, if you've been with me for a while, I adore nests. I find them wonderful things to have around me. I've got them, this is my square nest, in various shapes because I can just put projects in them, tuck them up, and carry them around. So every shape, every size. Oh, not a finished bottom on that one, but you know, and I know many of you out there love nests. At the moment I'm using my bowerbird nest, which is this one here, to carry my threads in for the flowers in vases project. I'm getting more and more organized, so in here are my basic threads and wools and chassicos and trying not to mess everything up. I've even gone to the point of winding some of the skeins onto these things. So I'm slowly learning and slowly coming around. Okay, what am I talking about? The babiest, I'm going to leave that there. Hang on, before I go any further, how is your day or night going so far? Has it been a good one? Have you seen people, or has it been a quiet one? Maybe you've been at work. Who knows? It's a Sunday of the long weekend here in Australia, and it always seems a bonus because usually we would be thinking about going back to work or school and getting busy, and instead we have another bonus day. So this is the piece that I'm talking about, and it's the babiest nest I've ever made, and I used Beck from Sewbecurated's small project. I can't find the plastic, it's buried now. One day ago and you never see it again. So up until this point, everything and the only things on this are the materials that I got in her kit. Now I've added my own threads. I often get asked. I use a combination of my own hand-dyed wools, cottons, getting into this sort here. And because I bought the kit and this beautiful, oh, there's so many beautiful rosella parrots just went through my window. I'll put that one there. No, I like it to the right. I'll put it up there. We'll have it. My gosh, that's tidy. This is a beautiful French silk thread that Beck had in the hot pink. So what we're going to do today is, like, I could stop here or I could go on and on with this piece, but I thought we'd just have some fun. So it's like a Sunday stitch. And there's some petals here in the white on this vintage sheet, but I thought we might just go over them to make them stand out. So it's about now the embellishing. Oh. And what can we do to the individual scraps now? Because they certainly don't look like scraps, I don't think, and never did, but how do we make them jump out even more to the eye? Even my husband noticed me stitching this last night, and he said, "What are you making there?" And he thought it was very cute. Now, he sees me stitching all the time, but he particularly noticed this because of its size. And I want to call it a baby nest because I keep thinking of a baby bird. So it's small in size, but in comparison to mine, it is the baby. So it's going to be my first ever baby nest. Now here it is. I don't know whether I'd done that. I can't remember. That's the beautiful hot pink flower with the green floral fabric with the flower cut off so that it's 3D. And this is stem stitch done. I can only do it downwards in this direction and around the corner. So we've done 2 petals so far. And we'll just finish there. Then we'll go up. I'm going inside the blanket here to get up to the top petal. Actually, it's the second top. So I'm hoping you are having some time for you. I say it more often because it's just so precious, isn't it? Who was I listening to? Listen to a podcast, that's right, where yeah, it was very enlightening and just saying that we need, no matter what our age and what we do, just if we give ourselves even 10 minutes a day to be productive, and that doesn't creative, that doesn't have to be stitching, it can be doodling, journaling. And I speak often about how I journal at the start of a day, although I have to say I haven't done today because I've been having too much fun as a holiday day with my husband. Okay, so will I do, yes, I'm going to do one more petal up here. So it's like, I might put a little stitch. There's that little flower on top, and behind it are bigger petals. Go here. So at this scale, it feels tiny on my hands. That's why I admire all of you who can make little hexagons and all of those tiny, tiny things, because this is a real stretch for me. So what am I saying? Even if it's this 10 minutes when you're watching part of this video, be doodling or tidying up or something. Oh, look, I'm happy with that. So 1, 2, 3, 4 petals. And now we've got this lovely leftover colour here. I've got the writing from, I haven't shown you everything I've done. I've got that Suffolk puff in there, a little bit of that pink lace. Oh, I'm not good with short threads. So sorry, you'll have a blank table, which is very unusual for Kate. Okay, here we go. Let's just run this bit of hot pink gorgeousness. I had deleted before I filmed yesterday, or the second one, a lot of videos, and I've done it again, but it's not showing that it's recognized that they're deleted. So if I disappear mid-sentence, especially without saying goodbye, you know, it's that, just goes in. And I've seen this on other YouTubers. It's like it's well behaved, and then all of a sudden it isn't. Okay, so we've got that pink bit there. This I don't want to stay green. Oh, I could go fluoro. What is this? Is this funny rayon-y? It is. I don't think so. I don't get this down, put that back use this thread, which I happened to pick up from I needed more of a range now that I've fallen in love with it. So picked it up at my local quilting store, which I'm going to far more regularly than I ever did to purchase things and look at beautiful fabrics. Why am I putting a knot in there? See, this is what's hard because it doesn't really, I'm not really, it's a quilter's knot, but I'm not very good. Okay, let's do it this way. I'll go over the top and try and deliberately catch it and then cover it up as we go. So I'm literally colouring in the green. I've been doing a bit of weaving on my big flowers, so I could do weaving here, but I've just realised I would have preferred to have done a variegated because that has more effect, more impact. So this is relatively thin cotton, or thick cotton, I don't know. So I'll come along that side, not very neatly, because that's Kate. And that's why I usually use thicker cotton, oh my gosh, or wool, because it doesn't look as messy as this does. But that's where I am right now. And I could go over the top with something else, but for the moment, let's finish it off. And turn it into, oh, I mean, not turn it in, but try and make it look a little bit more outlined. So I'm just going to do a back stitch around the border of the yellow. Welcome if you're a new subby. I really appreciate you being here. I appreciate every single one of you. Now you might see as I'm going past that I have covered the bottom of the nest, but I'll show you share the challenge that I had when I get around here. One more big stitch over there. Just go over the top to even it out a little bit, make it thicker even. Now we're going to go for a dive underneath because we've still got thread. So there we are, we've turned the green into yellow in a scrappy, messy way. And we've got this little flower here that's pink. Oh, let's go into this. Oh, I've just done a center. Let's do some French knots. 1, 2, 3, in and out. 1, 2, 3, and Again, I usually do these with variegated, but this is the colour I've got. 1, 2, 3. I won't count these times because I realise that's probably driving you crazy. I've got, does that happen to you? Sometimes the loop goes too big. Why? Whatever I do makes it worse, so let's just turn that into a loop that was meant to be there. Shove it down. Oh, I could have undone it because now it's come out of my needle. It's sort of looking like turkey work. Isn't that pretty? Better just check. Yep, we're still filming. And one more. Oops. Haven't actually stayed in the center of the flower very well. This time I'm going to go all the way through and say goodbye to that flower. And let's have a look at where we've come up in the center. This could be reversible, so let's just reverse it. And you can see what I've put on the bottom was that beautiful cotton embroidery, a Suffolk puff, the lace that I've talked about before. I've still got something tiny showing over here, so let's go on a bit of a journey, meaning not stitched down. And I might have to cheat a little bit here because I think I've left my leftovers in the other room where I was stitching last night. So why not? I've got a little bit, I've got even a little bit, been working on my bundles of joy. Look at this for the bazaar. Look at that for a tiny little pomegranate. I'm calling them my Indian strawberries. So we'll tear that. Yeah, and we'll cover over the white of that sheet. Don't have to. Oh, where am I? So I'm up there. Oops. Oh gosh, everything's falling to crumbles. It's the excitement. I don't think I've stitched this onto anything. That's why. Yep, so I've nearly done my block print bundles, and next is saris and silks. Might have got a little bit too much of the yellow, yeah, because I'm covering up that. So let's trim. Put that there. Then try and stitch. So it's probably, what, 2 weeks since I was at the AQC. I think that's right. I'll have to rethread. Yeah, in a way that seems a short time, but also lots has happened. Hello there. You may or may not have noticed that I disappeared then, because the silly thing happened again. So I was quite frustrated. So I just sat there and I thought, how can this be? Because I deleted so many videos last night. So do you know what I did? I did a really radical thing, and I turned the iPhone on and off again. So suddenly before my eyes, when it came back on, it had all the space that it should have had last night. So there's a hint if you get frustrated like me. So what am I doing here? I was talking about this big white spot, and it's not easy. It's white, beautiful sort of broderie, but it's quite stiff and it's not easy to stitch it in. So what am I'm trying to make it look a little less white, and I've not pulled something tight that rhymes. So I'm just going through the holes here, and I'm going to make a flower. Because that feels quite nice. So I'm like pretending that this hole here is the center. So these are petals. And I'm not going all the way through. I can feel that, I can feel the base from the other side. So 3 there. So this is variegated wool. I think I was saying that I wanted a color that would show up, but who knows actually how long that hadn't been filming for. Right, so we have 3 petals. See, I get too excited that I'm nearly there. Then it knots. What is it? What silly noise am I making? There we are. That's out. Oh. Okay, there's the clumsy moments coming out again. So that's 1, 2, 3. Let's do a 4th petal here. So sort of if you're down to a piece like this, and it's standing out, you can change the color. You could tea dye it. I'm sort of going to work on, you know, blending it, marrying it in, while still retaining its beauty. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this one, I'm deliberately going to go into the blanket, because that way I don't have to fight with the linen. Oh, sorry, it is a bit of a battle, but worth it. 3. Okay, so that's, now we've made a little flower out of there. Now we could do lots and lots and lots. Do I want to go in here? Let's just go in and see where we're up to on the inside. Oh no, that would be a bit boring for you. Okay, let me talk to you about the thing that I would do now to finish off. All of my bigger nests have, well, they're beads, treasures and trims. You know, that's the signature of my pouches and all my work I love. And the treasures can be buttons, they can be Suffolk puffs. I could say that I've already got the treasures here because they're old and vintage. Trim can come in many forms, little frilly bits, bits of crochet, bits of doily, and I've done some of that already from the kit that Beck provided. I actually really love that. That's a piece of the original blanket popping up. Can you see that? And see, these bits I've let be frilly, and inside left some frills. But I'm going to break my rule of just using Beck's kit because I have some favourite things that were just hanging about, and I wondered, so this is from my November trip. It's all I have left, but I love a dangle, and I love this pattern. And is there a spot that could be enhanced by a bit of a dangle? I think, yeah, I'm going to choose this place. Why? Because that green is gorgeous, but it hasn't got anything remarkable on it. Here, I've got the pattern, I've got that flower, and if I place the dingle dangle strategically, I don't want it to go over my flower, but I might be able to put a stitch, or even 1, 2, 3. I think 3 would be enough. I'll show you what else I've brought over, just so you can dream. I use this. I think I'll be selling some of this more in my bazaar for these little bits as well as the flowers. So there might be a place for that. And I also have, this is incredibly, you don't see this every day. This is trim, and I didn't sell this last time, and I don't know why. This is flowers, and I've got it in gold and other colours. This is flowers with metal, like the equivalent of a French knot. And the length of that is an unfinished heart. But imagine the beauty of that. So, I mean, would that be better? I wish I could hear you. Maybe I could put that. Where am I? I'm in my nest. Okay, here we go. Improvisation. Let's cut this bit out, and you can cut between the joinings. What have I cut? Oh, it's got some like thread there to make it easier. Okay, what was my idea? I've got the needle there, and I was thinking that I put that there, and you'll be saying, well, that will make the bottom bumpy, but just actually makes it more like a nest. So let me get stitching on that. I just saw my pink scissors and this dingle dangle, and that made me think of Christy from Sewbecurated. Is it Sewbecurated Christy? Who's still traveling overseas. She's a YouTuber. So my thoughts just suddenly, I think she was in Paris last time I heard from her, or she posted, having a marvellous time. Oh, So I love using things like this that have got the holes in them, because again, you don't have to worry about going through. Oh, just a little bit of an adventure to get it on. Okay, so that's done. We'll go through there, just securing it. And then you can see a hole. It's tough to get through that fabric. So if you are using textiles that are, you have to fight every way, you know, I tend to think it's not worth it, because like if you've got everything too hard, and that's why, you know, the textiles that many of us use and have experimented with, and especially me lately with the wool and the silk and the block print, you're in stitchy heaven. Like, it is just so, like, what do they say? The needle goes through like butter. Oh, I think that's down. I've still got, see, I've got the good bits still showing, and this was a bit of that original vintage print. Let's come up here and do some more overstitching. So every thread did you see that? Sorry, not very refined sometimes. Oh, I have a wrestle because I want it to get out so I can keep stitching. So every time there's an opportunity just to do extra stitches, and it doesn't matter what direction it's in, it just adds to the story. Okay, so there's the embellished bottom. There's one thing more that could go there, but I'm not going to do that now, or I could. Now back to the dingle dangle. I've used that spot, so it may be that this spot becomes, oh yes please. Yes please, I like that. Okay, so let's see what the effect of that. That is, I'm going to stitch that bit down. Will I do it quickly now, or will I let you go? I think I should let you go, because you've got the idea. They will hang down like that. So we've got lace, we've got treasure. It's all treasure, really, and that's the base. So from that one kit, as I said, you'll have to watch the video from yesterday, but there is my happy little baby nest. So as I said, I'd encourage you just to play. And there's many designs out there, many patterns. People have been making these for ages and ages, and this is just a little version of mine based on my bigger nests. So, and they're not mine. This is just the nest that the nest that Kate made yesterday. Thank you so much for watching. Have a happy rest of the weekend, or whenever you're watching this. I hope you're finding something to smile about, some flowers around you, and enjoying the company of others in our stitchy world. I think that's too big in there. Put that away. Thank you, everyone. I need to end you with colour. Okay, please take care. Bye.